Multinational companies, they are known for their businesses across the globe, but can you capture a share of their growth in your portfolio through MNC funds? To answer that question, Dhirendra Kumar, CEO at Value Research, joins us with all the answers. Dhirendra, let's analyze two of these funds, UTI MNC as well as Birla Sun Life MNC. In this category, while over 3-year period, the Birla fund has done better, over the 1-year period, UTI fund has been ahead. But more recent numbers show that Birla fund is outperforming again. Why this sort of fluctuation, and how does one really make up their mind then?
Broadly, in near term, Birla Sun Life MNC fund has done better. But if I look at it broadly, and if I have to choose one, I think they are broadly, they are look-alike, except that past 6 months, 1 year, Birla is little ahead of the UTI MNC fund. I think, the key question to ask is that should MNC fund should be part of one's portfolio? Should you buy one?
But, would you recommend this fund to investors then?
I don't know. There was a case for MNCs, 15 years back when these funds were launched. Then the hypothesis was that multinational companies have superior corporate governance. And many of the businesses were better managed. They were better organized. And one thing notable about these companies certainly was that these companies never used to diversify in unrelated areas. You had companies, they had very well articulated line of business, and they did stick to that in particular, which was very unusual for Indian companies. We had, most companies were well on their way to become a conglomerate. No longer. I think, today the stock universe has broadened. There are large, large number of Indian companies. Investment universe was narrow. So this had some kind of, this particular theme was able to strike a chord with investors no longer. It is a constrained portfolio. So I would say most ordinary investors are better off with something which is generic, plain vanilla, and a diverse portfolio.
Right. Dhirendra, just to talk about MNC funds only, is it true that the last 6-12 months, one of the reasons why some of these funds have done well is because of the whole delisting play? There's been buzz that a lot of these MNC companies could delist from the market, and that's one of the reasons why some of these funds have done well. Does it make sense for investors to look at them then from a short-term point of view?
Certainly, the delisting has been one of the key drivers of this the two funds. But that apart, I think the bigger the bigger driver for the performance of these funds in recent years is primarily because of dominance of FMCG and pharma in this with this such ownership. And that is one. So I think these two factors have certainly done well. In fact, this delisting thing is actually a negative story because the universe is getting shortened. In fact, very compelling stories, they are getting delisted.